Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwashed cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say. And deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax, sit back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Good morning, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Welcome to a great Tuesday edition of Morning Coffee. Y'all make sure y'all get this shared out. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell so you can get them instant notifications, especially if you are over there watching on YouTube, which I think is back up and running, which is good. Real quick before we go any further, want to thank everybody who's been holding your boy down for the past couple of months. I'll be moving into the new lab here just 1 week. Shows will be coming on a regular basis, but right now, as you can see, I am still here at Mama's house as she has been holding me down while we have been waiting to relocate, and it's finally here. So look forward to that. So y'all just keep tuning in, and we're gonna get back on the grind and have some fun, like we ain't already having fun. First things first, let's get to it. So, one of the things I used to always hate seeing is watching people take let's take freedom of speech, should I say, just a little bit too far, but let me see if I can go ahead and pull this up and then we'll talk about it, because this is what I've been waiting to see. This is what I love to see. And let's go ahead and let's see if I can get it going here for you. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me. I got to make sure I got it in there right. Got my fat fingers in here. All right, here we go. So we will get to this idiot here if I can get him on the screen. I think I can get him on the screen. I'm not sure. All right, so let me see. I'll get it right. This is what happens when you don't do it every time. Okay, so we get man gets arrested. Then we'll share it. Now we'll.
Do this for every single one of you American citizens. We burn this flag in protest to that president flag. We do this for respect for our citizens and our constitutional rights. What? I'm not putting it out. I can burn it. It's my right. Executive order that President Trump put forward today. According to that executive order, I should be in prison. Fire now. Starting to fire, so we kind of bring it over here. Second thing is to show that this president and his lackeys do not believe in the First Amendment right. You simply burn a flag within what, a 2-foot circle on brick, and you get detained.
All right, let's talk about it. Let me see if my volume is up. I want to make sure first. Let me check here on my. All right. So we're good. First things first. Me, myself, I am a staunch supporter for freedom of speech, First Amendment right. Okay? You got the right to go in there and rob a bank under freedom. But you got consequences. Everything has consequences. Listen, y'all take it just a little bit. No, not a little bit. You take it a lot too far. That right there, I've always felt and I've always thought, and this is me personally, that's not freedom of speech. Burning Old Glory, burning the American flag, that's a spit in the face of the country that you're supposed to love. If you don't love it, get the hell out. That's what that is. That is blatant disrespect. When you want to go and burn the American flag, don't put that shit under freedom of speech. I am so glad about time there is some type of accountability being taken. And he was a veteran, so he felt entitled. No. How dare you? How dare you insult? How dare you spit in the face of the flag in the country that you swore to uphold? No, you ain't got the right to do that, boss. You do not have the right to be blatantly disrespectful to this country and anything that symbolizes or represents this country. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just take it a little too serious. But I'm glad, I'm so glad that he really thought he was going to get away with that shit. And you see what happened? Now, I don't care if he didn't go to jail. I don't care. That's not for me to decide. I was glad to see that them officers that did swear to uphold the same constitutional oath that this veteran did, that they just wasn't going to stand honorably by and watch that shit happen. Good morning, brother Dave Glovin. How are you doing this morning? Dave said you have the freedom of speech. Let me go ahead and pop it up here for you, Dave, real quick. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, drop your comments. I'll throw them up on the board. You have the right freedom of speech, but you don't have the right freedom to burn a flag. You are right about that. You try burning the flag in any other nation while you are in that nation and you see how much flag burning freedom you have. Exactly. And you know, it's good you bring that point up, Dave. I was telling my wife that same thing yesterday. That's just, I would like to say common sense, but that's just bullshit. You can't do that shit. But you know, we have been so watered down here in America not to stand on what we're supposed to stand on, because we don't want to hurt so-and-so feelings. We don't want to hurt this political party. We don't want to hurt that political party. We don't want to hurt this alphabet community. We don't want to hurt this. We've become a nation of compromisers. What happens if you start compromising the roles and how shit's supposed to be running your house just to keep everybody happy? Sooner or later, you're going to find your damn crib in disarray. That's what you're going to find. You're going to find it in disarray. Oh, y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Ring the bell so you can get the instant notifications. I will be back on a regular routine. Hopefully, beginning next week. So, everybody's talking about Chicago. Everybody's talking about what's going on in Chicago. Why does Trump want to send things and people to Chicago? Well, you know what? Let's see if I can just find it. I don't know if I can bring it up. Let's see why Trump wants to send people to Chicago. We're gonna do one of them, and then tell me what you think, and we're gonna see if Trump needs to send them out there.
Unfortunately, more violence in the city. So far, at least 40 people have been shot and 6 killed across Chicago this 4th of July weekend. Some neighborhood residents walked the track at Avalon Park, unaware just hours earlier gun violence claimed the life of a teenage girl while wounding a man there.
I'm always shocked at the things that's happening in this area, but again, I'm getting used to it at the same time. But it is heartbreaking.
Just before 11 p.m. Friday night, investigators say gunfire erupted in the park located in the 1200 block of East 83rd Street on the city's south side. Police say 16-year-old Mia Smith died of a bullet wound to the throat, while a 35-year-old man was hit in the leg after an attacker approached them on foot and opened fire. In the hours to follow, there would be 2 new mass shootings. The first within the city's back of the yards neighborhood, leaving 7 people wounded. It happened near 48th and Justine just after 11 o'clock. That's when witnesses say 2 gunmen walked up to a crowd and started shooting. 4 women injured range in age from 21 to 27 years old and were seriously or critically hurt, along with a 21-year-old and a 29-year-old man. A 42-year-old man also remains hospitalized. Another attack on the group happened near the Cook County Criminal Courts building. Investigators say 4 men were sitting in a car near 27th in California when another vehicle pulled up and someone inside started shooting. The men, who range in age from 25 to 33 years old, each suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Street pastor and anti-violence activist Dr. Donovan Price says he's concerned about what feels like an uptick in gun violence.
Sometimes it's about plain evil. And as long as people have guns, they're going to use them whenever they get angry. It's a tool of convenience, of angry convenience.
ABC 7 is tracking holiday weekend shootings from the morning of Thursday, July 3rd at midnight to the evening of Sunday, July 6th at 11:59 p.m. At least 44 people have been shot, resulting in 6 homicides, a concern to some Chicagoans fearful about their safety.
I have 2 sons, and I'm very concerned about them. I have 2 brothers, one that was murdered and one that was shot. So it's affected me personally.
Police continue to investigate, but so far, no one is in custody and no arrests have been made.
Oh, we don't need Trump. We don't need no help. We'll just continue to allow our communities to become decimated with crime and riddled with bullets every night. That's what the Democrats want. They look at the black man and say, you know what? By process of elimination, and y'all too stupid to figure it out. Do you know how strong you can be if you stood united rather than killing one another? But no, they got y'all so convinced that the Don wants to come up and clean up crime. He's targeting you. Listen, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, you ain't got nothing to worry about. So let your communities get cleaned up. Yeah, it might look a little different at first. But man, you don't think you need help in them communities? Really? Let me see. Let me see if somebody can shed a little light on what's going on in these near communities.
Every plea, call, cry. You're going to protect the undocumented while you're going to allow for the citizens in Chicago to suffer.
You ain't going to abide by what the president of the United States said. Everybody know better than that. Loser, get rid of the illegals.
Illinois is turning purple. We're going to turn red.
Ooh, Chicago residents tearing into Mayor Brandon Johnson at a heated city council meeting last week, accusing the mayor of prioritizing the needs of illegal immigrants over U.S. citizens in Chicago. Tio Hardiman, Executive Director of Violence Interrupters, joins us now. It doesn't seem to be a popular guy, Tio, with many constituents. Who exactly does he represent these days?
Right now, Mayor Brandon Johnson, he represents himself and his party, because a lot of the people in Chicago are frustrated with his performance so far as a mayor, especially when it comes down to the migrant issue here in Chicago.
So what exactly is it that the constituents are upset about?
Well, African-American people have been deprived of resources for decades in Chicago. If you travel to the south and west side of Chicago, you know you can count thousands of abandoned buildings, a lot of people living in poverty, and people are just upset because there appears to be a priority for the migrants compared to prioritizing some of the issues of single African-American women that have been living like in homeless situations. We had over 60,000 homeless people living in Chicago before the migrants came to Chicago. And the homeless people here were never a priority until the migrants came to Chicago, and they're still not a priority, even to this.
No, they're not a priority. But, you know, we already know they're not a priority. Who we got? Jersey J, good morning. Good morning. Dave Glavin, good morning. But, you know, it is what it is. But there's no crime problem. There is no crime problem whatsoever if you leave it up to the Democrats. This is the funny thing. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Make sure y'all get some coffee too. These fools, they keep saying, well, crime is down. Crime is down. Crime is down. Crime is down from where it was. Well, do you know where the hell it came down from? If crime is at 68% and it drops down to 62%, damn it, you still got a crime problem. I don't understand. Dave said the Democrats are the problem. Brenda Bridge, long time. Yeah, you know, I guess the platforms, for some reason, and they probably gonna do me again after a minute. Well, maybe not. Maybe so. They don't like to keep me up and running. So I'm going to try it one more time once I get to the other location to see every week. But I'm glad YouTube is in the building. Do me a favor, Brenda. Go ahead and share this out. Long time. And I hope it's a long time in the future. But we're just talking about the crazy crime problem that's going on, or so that's not going on in Chicago. And I'm just seeing more and more gun violence in Chicago than anywhere. So they seem to think they don't have a problem. But let me see here. If I got another one here. Does Chicago have a crime problem? Let me see. This is not the one. But let me see. We will go to that one. Now, as President Trump rightly calls attention to the crime disparity gripping the major cities. For 13 consecutive years, Chicago has had the most murder of any U.S. city. For 7 consecutive years, Chicago has had the highest murder rate among U.S. cities with more than 1 million people. In 2024, Chicago's murder rate per capita was 3 times higher than Los Angeles and nearly 5 times higher than New York City. That's more than double. The murder rate in Islamabad and nearly 15 times more than Dolly. Out of Chicago's 147,899 reported crimes since January, arrests have been made just 16.2% in those. So that's just a little bit of the stats. So if you think you don't need help doing what y'all do, y'all need a lot of help. And what's striking, these are cities that you're not even supposed to have firearms in. These are cities that you're not even supposed to have firearms in. But it has to be done. And a lot of you might not know what it's going to look like. So for those of you who don't know what it's going to look like, let me see if this is the one. If this ain't the one. Oh, no. I know what I was talking about. Why Trump needed to take in the National Guard. Yeah, here's yet another one. I forgot. I should have played them back to back, but here goes another one.
Well, good morning, guys. Yeah, since the start of the holiday weekend, Wednesday evening, our latest numbers show at least 103 people have been shot, 19 of them killed. Those numbers are nearly double what we saw last year. And now both Mayor Brandon Johnson and Superintendent Larry Snelling are trying to find ways to provide support to the community. We know the last shooting that we've heard so far took place in West Chesterfield and at East 89th Place, where 2 people were shot, one of them killed. And that was just minutes before the shooting you're going to see here that took place in South Austin neighborhood, where 1 person was shot and killed. And of course, all of this coming as police have been very busy still investigating the murder of a 26-year-old man who was shot and killed while walking in the South Loop, sending neighbors into panic.
I was walking my dog at the dog park across from the Marriott by like 320 East 21st over there, and I heard like at least 15 clear gunshots.
Now, before the weekend started, Mayor Brandon Johnson did announce some resources for the community. The latest coming starting tomorrow. There is going to be an emergency services assistance center that's going to open from 3:30 to 7 in the afternoon, as we wait here in a couple of hours to hear from both Mayor Brandon Johnson and Superintendent Larry Snelling on the update and their response to the holiday weekend violence.
Look, this is what gets me, and let me get this pulled up before I go any further. Let me see if I can get this pulled up before I go any further. Just bear with me, please. Let me see. Okay, here we go. This is what I want to pull up here. Can I get? Okay, this is just a couple of them. Let me make sure y'all got me on the screen. Do we got me on the screen? Okay, this is just a couple of them. So with them talking about, oh, we're going to put out more resources. We're going to try and make it safer. Don't y'all know that crime is down? It's not saying how Trump is depicting Chicago to be. We don't need no assistance. We don't need no help. We don't have a gun epidemic problem. If you could tell that to the friends and the family of all of these gunshot victims in Chicago, And if you look at the dates, closely, these are only in the month of August. These are only in the month of August. Look, I don't care what people say. Trump, send in the National Guard, send in the military. And if you notice, let me get them off the screen. If you notice, it's different this time. And you might be like saying, well, Patriot Lab, what are you talking about? It's different. Let me just go ahead. And this video will explain it best. Let me see if I can. No, I'll just play the video as is. And then we'll talk about it.
Armed, many seen overnight carrying service-issue pistols, others armed with M4 rifles, all part of what President Trump is calling a crackdown on crime in Washington, D.C. This despite violent crime in the district falling to a 30-year low, down 26% since last year. And now a U.S. official telling ABC News planning is underway to potentially duplicate Trump's mobilization in D.C. and send troops into Chicago. No official deployment has been ordered, and the Department of Defense declined to speculate on future operations. But Trump suggesting just days ago he could expand his focus from D.C. to other Democratic-run cities.
So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
A spokesperson for New York Governor Kathy Hochul telling ABC News Trump's attempts to invoke military power undermines work being done in her state that has already brought down crime. And Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker blasting Trump's threat, saying the president is attempting to manufacture a crisis. Chicago's mayor pointing out homicides, shootings, and robberies are all down since last year.
The city of Chicago does not need a military occupation.
The president also setting his sights on another Democratic governor, Maryland's Wes Moore, after Moore touted violence falling in Baltimore and told the president, quote, "If you are not willing to walk our communities, keep our name out of your mouth." Trump lashing out, writing, "If Wes Moore needs help, I will send in the troops," which is being done in nearby D.C. and quickly clean up the crime. But this year, Baltimore is also seeing a double-digit decrease in gun violence, homicides, and shootings. Moore calling the president's threat unconstitutional.
Look, I've been wanting to say this for a minute. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Do you know what these Democrats sound like? These Democrats sound like an individual that has a bad gambling problem. And every night they go to the casino and they blow about $5,000. And their wives are threatening to divorce them. So the next time they go to the casino, they only blow $4,800 and think it's okay. So when these Democrats come on here, oh, crime is down, statistics. First of all, I don't mess with your statistics. I go by the families that I see mourning and crying, and the news that comes on every day talking about not just one, not two, not three, multiple shootings in one night in the same city. But y'all ain't got a problem. Why? Because it ain't 10 shootings? I mean, you watch one news episode and they talking about 5, 6 shootings that episode. But you ain't got a problem. Really? I wonder what the victims of these places say. Let me see if I got any of them. I might have some. Let me see. Let me see if I got some. I don't know. I'll be trying. Let me see. I think I got this one. Hold on for me. Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to it. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, here we go. Hold on. I don't know if it's gonna let me do it. I was trying to do it. Let me see. Let me see if I can get it done in here. Sometimes it don't let me, but it might let me now. Let me see if I can get it done right. Okay, I think I got it.
Frantic sound of people being gunned down in their droves on a Tuesday night in Chicago. Ken Herslick is a so-called night crawler.
Still trying to find the victim.
In truth, a video journalist who monitors police frequencies. And in the blizzard of bullets, records each incident one by one. Ken, what's happening? Where are we going?
Now we have a supposedly woman in her 80s shot in the head on the far south side.
A woman in her 80s?
In her 80s, that's what they said.
Miss Clark's house was targeted because someone was after her grandson, who was recently released from prison, according to neighbors. Neighbors like Anton Dobine, who are sick of what's happened.
How many times has that house got shut up over the last?
This is the third time.
It's the third time this house got shut up over the last, since when?
In the last 2 weeks.
In the last 2 weeks?
Last 2 weeks. That woman is the nicest woman you ever want to meet. She coached us in Little League baseball. She feed people. She does everything. She's about the last person that's the original on this block. It's crazy, ain't it? She ain't bothering nobody.
4 is 148 on the clock.
If ain't nobody saying nothing. That's the thing in Chicago now. Who did the shooting? Nobody know nothing. It's kind of crazy.
But they do know something, yeah?
Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something.
The person who shot Miss Clark has a less than 5% chance of being caught in Chicago. Last week, the mayor blamed a culture of cover-up in these neighborhoods.
So what?
And as if on cue, our interview interrupted.
So what? You gonna shoot me? Stand up and stop this shit. Don't condone it. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna continue to talk in front of the camera.
You helping the situation? Why? Because you talking to the authorities?
Why? Because you won't.
Why not? Because
you won't.
Nigga, you a snake.
I bet y'all ain't gonna do nothing to me though.
First, the good news. Chicago is a little bit down the league table of America's most violent cities. But now, the bad news. A couple of weekends ago, 70 people were shot in this city within the space of 48 hours, with 12 fatalities. The weekend after that, nearly 30 people were shot. The kinds of figures that compare with the world's active war zones. So now what, Ken?
We're going to a homicide, a female, I think she was in her 40s or 50s, shot in the abdomen. The report is now that she's deceased, so she succumbed to her wounds. We're in the Inglewood area in the south side of Chicago.
Neighbors told us that the woman killed was called Stella. She was in her 40s, and a bullet came through the front of her house and hit her as she sat on the sofa. Her 6-year-old son was beside her and saw it all happen.
So the individual came up, probably from around the side of the house, and discharged the weapons.
Andrew Holmes works the night shift for Chicago Survivors, a rapid response counseling team supporting victims and their families.
Someone has to deal with it. Someone has to do the job. Someone has to talk to the people. I've been through it. I lost my daughter, so I know what they're going through. So,
excuse me, what?
I said I lost my daughter. To gun violence, so I know what they're going through. I know the pain. So.
On a murder scene, supporting people who've just lost a mother, a daughter, almost as an aside, tells us about his own.
2 or 3 or maybe more individuals was fighting and shooting at each other when they started discharging weapons at each other, and she got caught in the middle and she got shot in the chest, and I lost my baby. Yeah.
Andrew Holmes represents the resilience of these neighborhoods in the face of violence. His daughter, Tamara Sword, was the same.
It can get sad. It can get sad. The only way it's going to change, everybody got to get on one accord. Everybody got to want this to happen. You can't listen to these politicians that want to keep the chaos going. You really can't. Everybody sees what Trump is doing in DC, and it's working. So he needs to just be able to go in and do what he needs to do. And this is what he wants to do.
We do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with, and I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they are, including the people in this audience, they'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, thank God he's here, because half of them got mugged, and they don't want to get mugged again. The National Guard has been unbelievable. They're working with the police, and they have some very good people in there. They have some people that shouldn't be police, actually. And let me tell you, if I didn't send in the troops in Los Angeles, Johnny wouldn't be in Los Angeles. You wouldn't be having your World Cup there. I sent in the troops and we kept it. And even the police commissioner, the sheriff and the police commissioner, they all said the same thing. They said, we could have never handled what was happening. You saw that, you were there. He said, we could have never handled what was happening. And then you hear Gavin Newsom, after it's all quelled, Newsom got up and said, we could have done this for ourselves. No, they couldn't have. And if they could have, I wouldn't have taken the chance either. That was the other thing I saw numbers. That restaurant business is down in the last week. No. Restaurant business, you can't get into a restaurant. Everybody wants to save DC. In one way, it's the easiest. The violence was more than any other city in the country, actually, by far. It may have been more than any other city in the world, if you could think. We looked at some of the worst cities in the world, it was worse. And that's why it angers me to see the mayor saying about how they have it on the slide. Not on the slide, it was worse than ever.
And it was worse than ever. And no, Dave, you are okay. Tear my chat up if you like. That's why I don't pay attention to the left lunatics. And let me see here. I was trying to do something. Okay. Yeah, that's why I don't pay attention to the left lunatics. Because for whatever reason, and I've decided to stop trying to figure out why. Well, no, I know why. I've decided to stop giving the energy to why. They want these cities to fail. They want these cities to be in chaos. They want brothers to keep killing brothers because, look, I've heard people ask them over and over and over and over and over again, can y'all please stop killing one another? Can y'all please stop killing one another? Well, guess what? I've learned that shit don't work. That don't work. Asking them nicely, stop killing one another, it don't work. So until only until the streets get cleaned up, I believe, and give these kids an opportunity to go to their damn neutral corners. Because basically, let's face it, that's really all what's going to happen. Once they hit the street, speaking about the National Guard and military, if Trump sends them out there, once they hit the street, not too many of them cats are leaving town. Some of them might get corralled up if they got warrants or whatever, or if they just want to buck and act stupid, they might get corralled up. But the majority of them, they just go into their neutral corners and they're going to lay low until they think it's all over, said, done. But maybe with that time, with that brief, hopefully a long brief, but with that brief interruption of shootouts and everything else that goes on after dark, or even nowadays during broad daylight, pause. All illegal activities, just pause for a minute. And maybe people will start appreciating and enjoying the real beauty of life. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, if, like I said, they're not leaving town. It ain't like the gangsters and the drug dealers and the pimps. It ain't like they're gonna leave town. No, they just gonna lay low. And maybe with that little brief pause, it'll give them a time to reflect and say, hey, you know what? It's pretty cool going out without having to look over my shoulder and shit. Maybe I'm looking out over my shoulder with the motherfucking camouflage people, but you know what? I ain't got a bullet in the back of my head. So even if it's just for a pause, maybe that'll give people time to rethink the real value of life. You know, sometimes it just takes a pause. You know, like when you get in an argument with your boy and people jump in the middle of it, just give y'all time to simmer down. So that's what Trump's going to do. And like I said, along the way, yeah, you're going to have some knuckleheads that's going to want to buck the system, because I don't watch the videos. Oh, let Trump come to Chicago. He's going to deal with the real. Okay. I guess they're going to find out and they're going to see how real they are. There's only two options. They're going to be real locked up or real unalived. Which one they taking? Oh, wounded pretty bad. So the best thing to do if the man come to town is just be hospitable. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, those who don't want no problems, go lay low. Give you opportunity to think things over. That's all I'm saying. What did say Dave? Dave said it doesn't work in Ukraine, Russia. It doesn't work in Gaza. What the hell makes Democrats, if you ask nice anywhere in America, is just going to stop? Because we like to think that these are adult. Well, you know, hey, I don't know. I don't know why they do what they do. I don't know why people rob banks. Well, I know why they think they're going to get away with it and get rich. I don't know. But people do what they do. People do what they do. And that's like the Don. He's going to do what he got to do. You know, law and order. And then you get the ones that come out. And like he said, in public, they're talking about, oh, what a bad thing he's doing. And then in private, they want to take credit for it. Oh, we could have did this. No, you couldn't have, because if you could have did it, why didn't you do it? You know, that's like when I was raising my kids. and I tell them, clean your room. And time go by, they wouldn't clean their room. I go in there and clean it, find shit, and everything, and shit. They, sometimes there'd be shit they shouldn't have, and then they get in trouble. They go, "Why you clean my room? I could have did it." No, because if you'd have did it, you'd have did it. And if you'd have did it, you wouldn't have given me a reason to do it, to find some shit you shouldn't have had. Believe me, if New York didn't have crime problems, if Chicago didn't have a crime problem, if California didn't have a crime problem, if DC didn't have a crime problem, Trump. Oh, and don't, before y'all say, well, he's only going, to the Democratic states and look, he's getting ready to come to Tennessee. Oh, yes, he is. And you know what? These people that run these places down here, they saying they rolling out the red carpet for the Don. Because they want it cleaned up. Look, you got too many people running around here going off their emotions. You got a child, someone you love, and they do something bad. And the authorities catch up to them and they go into court and everything, and then they get hauled off and have to do life. As they walk out the courtroom and walk by you, yes, your emotions are going to be deeply cut. You're going to wish that they could just come home and all this. But in reality, they have to pay the cost to be the boss. They have to pay the consequences. So listen. You can't follow the politicians. I don't know the reasons they're doing what they're doing. I don't know. But y'all people out there, you have to be smart enough to want to really make the right decisions. Stop killing one another. Stop carjacking. Stop doing all that crazy shit. And then Big Brother ain't got to step in to take care of the shit. I'm done listening to the left wackos trying to convince y'all. I don't listen. How can I rephrase it? I can't help but hear them. I'm not listening, but I hear them. And it's annoying. It really is annoying at times. Because really deep down inside, I really know that they know better. But it's the role of a politician sometimes to just, for whatever reason, decide to do not what's best for the people, but what's best for whatever they're representing. I feel sad for the ones that get caught up in it and really believe on the bullshit. Crime is down. Down from what? That's like that's like saying I'm strong. Strong compared to who? Compared to who? Them Democrats, they try to be slick with that reverse psychology or whatever you call it. They try to be slick with it. They really do. But we've had a good one today. We've had a good one. I want to thank Dave in the chat. Whoever else was in the chat, Jersey J was in the building today. I hope this gets shared out. I was blocked on a couple of ones. So, man, it is what it is. I'm just up enjoying a nice cup of coffee this morning. But I had to come in. I don't know if I got another video. Do I got another video for you guys and girls before I jet up on out of here? I'm not sure if I do or not. No, I do not. I do not have another video. But that's all I wanted to come with this morning because I was getting sick and tired. Crime. What we got up here? Dave says crime is down. Crime is down is not the answer. We need no crime is what we need. We don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, they did a study, a survey, or whatever you call it, and they was averaging a homicide every 1.5 days in Washington. Every 1.5 days, there was a reported homicide in Washington, D.C. We are now on day number 12 with not one reported. So how many lives is that saved right now? I'm not a math genius. I mean, what is that? 7, 8? Dave, help me out. How many lives have been saved? I think 8 or 9. If they were averaging 1.5 homicides, and now they haven't had, yeah, that's about 7 or 8, somewhere like that. Hey, I appreciate the small things, man. I appreciate the small things. Not when it comes to saying crime is down from 68 to 62. I don't appreciate those things. The good small things. So, Don, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll see you soon. You know, I already see my peoples up there. They was hollering, hanging around up in the White House. Ride 45, front row Joes. Y'all keep grinding. Y'all keep grinding. I heard 700. Yeah, I don't. So, hey, if there was no progress, now, hey, I ain't even heard people coming out being illegally detained, illegally arrested, and all that. If it did happen, I ain't hear about it. So it couldn't have been that much and that many. So he's doing what he needs to do. I know. Stores are making money. Because people are now coming out going shopping, feeling more safe and secure that they can make it through their vehicles, or wherever they can make it to the metro to get back to the crib, and that's a good thing. So Don, keep it up, keep it up. I want to thank everybody on Facebook. I was hitting them up this morning. YouTube, I was hitting y'all up this morning. But like always, in the meantime, in between time, till next time, thanks for hanging out with your boy. We had good coffee time. Y'all like this, y'all share this, and like I said, the lab will be returning back to its original format, different location, new surround scenery. Haven't figured out how I'm going to do it yet, but once I get in there, that'll all get figured out. But yeah, like I said, love you guys, Patriot Nation. In the meantime, in between time, until next time, this is your boy. I'm out, yo. Peace.